hasn't you tried?
I can still see her. She knew there was nothing I could do about it. He knew it.
Don't dig it up again, dear, please.
Why
Forget
didn't
it.
they go before it happened?
Please.
Why did she scream? Why did she cry?
We can shut it out of this house.
No, this isn't my house. There's no certain place for me on earth.
I should have burned that place down.
No. Let's search the ashes and find her screaming.
I'm listening.
You went into the woods.
Well, why shouldn't I? They're only...
Because I've asked you not to.
We didn't find anything.
I don't care. Now you listen to me. If there's anything you want, I'll get it for you. But there's one thing you've got to do for me. You stay out of those woods.
Guys and gals, boys and girls, ghosts and ghouls, welcome to the Aftermath Podcast. We're finally back. I'm Scary Gary, and over here with me today is Eerie Aaron. Spooky Sammy. Hey, can we see it? Yeah, we can see her a little bit. We can see her. What we got? Juicy Jeff. Juicy.
My name
Juicy.
yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
whose phone this has the audio going? I'm so confused right now.
That would be Aaron's.
I'm like, why? I thought this was screwed up. I'm like, why the hell am I still hearing what already happened? I thought I broke it.
Broke it all.
Damn, Jeff, you're not in frame. We're gonna have to turn that camera.
All right.
Yeah,
Give me
you
a second.
can...
Technical difficulties. We have them every
Technical
show.
difficulties every show.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't have technical difficulties. Just a little bit.
Little bit.
Oh, what are you doing?
No, that was a lot of
The
movement.
angles, though,
That-
Sam.
What?
Oh my god.
Damn, Sam.
Boom! Like that?
Come on now.
Give us all the views.
No! Jeff,
Nope.
that is
Jeff, I
horrible.
can't see you at all, dude.
No, you moved it, but you didn't.
You didn't turn it.
Oh my god, this is what I deal with on a daily basis.
Why don't you sit next to Sam?
Yeah. Oh, well, his microphone's over there.
Oh, that's good.
I can see Jeff. All right,
There
guys.
he
Now that we're past our little technical difficulty, which I've spent most of my day having them because we ordered extra cameras so we can do this with like 5 cameras, and it's not allowing me to use more than 2. So we're just going to do the show the same way we've been doing it. Jesus Christ, it got hot in here all of a sudden.
It is balls, sweat, hot in here.
I'm okay over here, but I got like airflow.
Well, we should all have airflow. It's hot out there, isn't it? Like, who out there right now is sweating their ass off? I have AC
I'm in
going
here and I'm sweating my
and a
ass off.
fan.
Oops.
And it's fucking hot. So today, as usual, I'm getting notifications. Here we go. So the beer of the show today is Syrah Noir. We all have one. I hope you guys out there have a beer right now too. Drink along with us during this show. I shouldn't be drinking because I already got fucked up last night.
So, should we try it or?
I already tried it. It's not.
That's good.
It's not like
Definitely chocolatey.
dick dog warm right now.
It's a little bit rough.
Definitely taste the chocolate though.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a stout brewed with chocolate and aged in a bourbon barrel. So how you guys been? What have you guys been up to in the past few months? Aaron?
I've been doing good. Did some traveling and just been working and looking forward to our upcoming trip, which we'll get to later. So life has been good.
Short and sweet. What about you, Sam? What you been up to?
Nothing. Working. Usual. Just hating my life. Pretty much usual.
Can't argue. Can't argue. Sunny Jeff.
Sunny Jeff. I got like a halo over me with this window. It's great.
You really do.
Just work mostly. Working on trying to plan this trip out that we're doing for this up and coming show, and yeah, got some stuff together. Some additional equipment that we'll probably introduce at the show.
At Mifflin.
Yeah, because I don't have all the pieces yet, but one of them just came today. The other one's not coming for another week. So,
What about you, Gary? You live the craziest life I know. How you been?
Right. I haven't done shit.
Okay.
Literally, I met somebody, got my heart broke, and just stay home. That's about it. It's usual. The usual.
Not usual.
So let's talk about some of the stuff we've done since the last show. I think the first thing we did was the mass burial.
Yeah.
Right. We found out that why does this show feel so much harder to do this time? Is it just me? It's just me. I feel weird, like out of place.
no, just you, Gary.
It's the Ouija board.
No.
We'll talk about the Ouija board later.
No,
Sam does not
no,
like
we
that.
won't because I'm not gonna go there.
You're not gonna go there.
Nope.
I've already went there.
Okay.
So. Oh wait, you're gonna chew me out, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Probably.
we're not gonna talk about the Ouija board today.
Thank you.
Anyway, we went to a mass burial. We found out about that is on the UT property out here. It's a hospital over there. We found out that what was it, tuberculosis?
Mm-hmm.
During tuberculosis, like so many people were dying, they didn't have any place to put the bodies, so they just started burying them out on the property under numbers. So I think we only saw like 3 or 4 that had names.
Mm-hmm.
Because people were able to find records later on and find family members that had been missing and erect an actual tombstone for them. Everyone else was just under numbers, and I think we got up to like 2,000 something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's over 2,000 people just buried out in this field at UTMC. It's actually split into 2 places. There's one right off of UT, and then there's one across the street, and what's at Bowser?
Mm-hmm.
Right at Bowser High School. So we walked around out there for a little bit. Not too much creep. We saw some stuff.
I caught a couple pictures.
Yeah.
There was a couple Polaroids that I took that were kind of off. I think you scanned them in, didn't you? Did you scan them into your phone?
I scanned one of them into my phone.
Mm.
So yeah, we got some pictures. There were a few EVPs. Most of them I just chucked out because like I couldn't be 100%. But there was one EVP that was very noteworthy, and I do have that one. In just a moment, we're gonna play it.
I don't even know if I've heard this one yet.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
I? Okay.
You
Okay.
yeah, there was a bunch of memes and stuff like, good job, congratulations, you found it.
You get that fan in here, start blowing some of this ass around.
Yeah, like there's gonna be some smells that go around. It's gonna be good.
Soon I'm just gonna be like this.
I'm just gonna prop my leg up like
I
on
mean,
it.
we could bring the fan in. It just might mess with the audio. That's why it's in the hallway.
I was promised air conditioning.
There's air conditioning. It's just not in this room.
You see what we have to put up with?
We're gonna argue every show, aren't we?
We're not gonna argue.
It wouldn't be our show if we didn't.
I guess. Hey, at least we stopped arguing about other stuff.
I was told decent
We wait
pay.
till the show to
I was told
argue
decent
now.
Pay and air conditioning.
That's what I told
You're getting a bad Yelp review.
At least he fucking provides beer, but goddamn, at what cost?
Gotta drink it fast because it's gonna get warmer. It's real thick.
Spent 13 seconds in the freezer to get cold.
So I just want to take a minute to tell you what the beer selection situation was earlier.
Oh,
Gary
God.
messages the group and he says, triple IPA? No.
I didn't
So
know.
what does he do? He comes home with a stout boy on a summer hot 97-degree day.
It's my beer choice. I'm beer master. I ain't never judged anybody else's beer.
Because we didn't buy a stout in 97-degree weather.
It's still good. I don't care.
It's good.
Fearless, bold, and independent. Put the wind at your back and enjoy the heavy seas. I wish I had wind at my back because my ass is sweating something fierce. For my next number.
Anyway,
I don't think anything's touched my thighs more in the last 5 minutes than themselves. Because
is that
they're
peeling sound? That was accurate. I've never tried before.
It really was. Like that's yeah.
Put the wind at your back.
Put the
So,
wind somewhere,
we
too.
have an EVP from the mass grave, and just because of this, oh damn, I don't have it. I actually forgot to download it. Damn it! I made a little thing I was gonna put on the screen, and it's Erin's face, and her fingers going like this, and it just says, "That's not paranormal." But I couldn't get it on here today. We're gonna have
What
that.
did I say wasn't paranormal?
That time we were talking about ghost sex.
Oh,
You're like, guys, this isn't paranormal.
it's not.
It's not
Let's
paranormal.
keep it.
Let's keep
Doesn't
it
all have to be paranormal.
Like if I get any sweater, I'm slipping off this fucking chair. Like it's gonna be
Any
weird.
sweater?
Any sweatier.
Sweetier.
I just tried to
So-
abbreviate it.
Here's that EVP we caught at the mass burial grave. I don't know if you guys heard that clear. We'll put it up on the website later, as we usually do. Hi, Josh Weedy. I just now saw that. Sorry. But what we got there is a woman screaming,
Mm-hmm.
followed by what kind of sounds like a gunshot. And ironically, I think it was Erin that found it. That news report of the cop that like took a college student from the campus over there, like handcuffed her, put her face down on the ground in that area, and shot her like multiple times for no reason. He didn't even know her. It wasn't like rape or assault or anything like that. He just killed her just to kill her. And finding that EVP and then finding that story afterwards, that's kind of weird. Kind of adds up. We're gonna play it one more time. You'll hear me talk, then you'll hear a scream. Sounds like a little gunshot in there, and then the screaming instantly stops. That was like the best thing we've gotten since Hydro.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done a few things, but yeah, check it out if you guys are in Toledo. Go over to UTMC, drive around a bit. There is the one by Bowser is the one with the memorial stone for the people.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to find that one a little bit easier. It was kind of hard to find the first one that we found because the directions were not very clear and it was dark. But we found it. So go check it out, UTMC. Right off the property, right across the street from it. You can go check out the mass burial. It was a secret for a long time. They resurrected a memorial stone back in 2010 or 2000, something like that, to honor the people because they just kind of tried to literally bury it all these years. What else did we do? You guys went to Moonville.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of that was a little uneventful just because it was during the day. Like to get the full experience of Moonville, like I believe you have to go at night. There's just because the way Moonville is set up, it's back in like I want to say like a park kind of thing. You can walk through it. So the tunnel is actually the beginning of like a trail that you can walk through. So there's a lot of people coming and going, a lot of dogs, a lot of just random
Damn
shit.
it.
Goddamn camera. We're good.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of random people, like a bunch of people doing stuff. Like everybody knows the legend and everything that happened at Moonville. But yeah, to actually get the full experience and actually have a legit investigation, you're gonna have to go at night when not a lot of people are out and about. So it's pretty in the middle of nowhere. So if you guys do decide you want to go do that, just be careful. 'Cause-
There's also no cell signal. As you
Yeah,
get closer to
none.
it, you lose all cell
Yeah.
signal. So if you get lost, you just got to try to find your way back.
pretty much.
Sam and I have been there twice together.
Yeah, one time when we walked the trail. We went all the way down and around, and then the trail ended, and we just ended up in like the middle of the woods, and we had to like walk across the woods like for like a mile to get back to like the actual tunnel. And
It's an old train trail, but all the tracks are pulled up, and when you at the end of the trail, you just hit the river, and the elevated thing for the train tracks that was there is just gone now. So you just hit a dead end, and you can't cross it unless you swim the river or kayak or something across. And then back that way somewhere is the actual town of Moonville, which we haven't been able to get to yet.
Me and Sam got turned around up there and actually found the cemetery at the top of the hill, which was kind of cool. There was probably like 8 like stones or whatever, and there was like a couple kids up there, like buried kids that were like 2.
Really.
And there was all kinds of toys people had left in little trinkets and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you go like you like turn into the parking lot, if you go straight, and instead of going straight, you go up
and around that bend.
I just
paranoid
remember what Erin
the whole
said
time.
right there. She's like, "Am I supposed to go? Like, she's like, am I supposed to keep going? How am I gonna turn around?" She's like, "Oh, I think we're fucked."
Because if I had to back out that whole way, like we would have died.
Yeah, we definitely.
She could tell that I was getting nervous because the closer I get to the steering wheel, the more nervous I am.
So
And
she
I
like
was like,
starts
ah,
back
the
here, and
steering
she's like,
wheel. And then there was human shit up there. Like somebody just went up there, and I was like, "We found our spooky Duke of the adventure."
That was our spooky dude.
"Spooky
Literally-
Adventure."
God, we did that too at the mass burial. There was a turd.
Like, why is there fucking human
There's like
shit?
literally a shit at every investigation. I don't know where the one at Haunted
We're gonna
Hydro
start
was, but
doing
I'm
one,
sure it was out
there's
there.
a spooky Duke.
Apparently, it's becoming an epidemic of people shitting outside.
Go to
And
San
in
Francisco,
public
that's
places
just-
at that.
That's what I want to do.
It's a
I
big
want to
toilet.
start a little gallery on our website.
Spooky
The
Dukes.
Spook Duke of the investigation.
Tag yourself if this was you.
Hey, we could add it to the YouTube.
So we
So if you know where we're going, if you know where we're going to be investigating,
please drop a Duke.
drop a Duke somewhere. We'll find it. We'll put it on our website.
If you know where
Spook
we're
Duke of the
going, we'll know where
investigation.
you were going.
And if you could just make like one of those little flags you put inside cocktails and just put it in the Duke, we would appreciate it.
Little Mai Tai umbrella. Like,
It's like a geocache, but
It's a Geo Duke.
Try to make them in
and
cool.
we'll do a Spook Duke review. Like, who had the best Spook Duke?
Yeah,
That'd be
like try
We
to
could do
try to
that.
let it out in like little shapes or something. Make a picture out of it without touching it with your
Be
fingers.
Creative.
Yeah,
Be creative. Be creative.
you know, if we ever blow up, people are going to go back and find this, and that's going to happen.
that's
Oh
awesome.
God.
So
I mean-
we're going to be responsible for human shit.
Yes, we're
In
going to be
public
responsible for
places.
people shitting outside on a regular basis.
Every time a shit appears at a haunted location, they're gonna be like, Division 3 AM!
Oh boy.
Hey, maybe that's if we get some merch out, we'll get some little flags that say Division 3 AM on it. People can buy them and put them in there. That
Make
way
our
it's
own.
Awesome.
It's claimed
Make
for
our own.
us.
Yeah, I like it. It'll just have like the fist on it, like just hold on the microphone. Just
That's what the whole thing will be. It won't even be a flag. It'll just be that fist coming out of the turd with the microphone. Oh, the
love it.
things that are going to happen
I
that
love it.
shouldn't.
So I couldn't play that one thing that I caught at my mom's, but I didn't review everything. So I don't know if you want to save that for another show.
Where is it?
Well, my phone just died.
Well,
Never mind.
Never mind.
Another show it is.
There were files, and they're gone. They are gone
My
now.
phone was totally fine until I come to your house every time.
Every time. Well, we are in the haunted room. Got colder in here too.
The fuck it did.
Well,
I got boob sweat going on. I got some like.
I got the breeze. I feel it.
Yeah, good for you.
You said the wind.
You know, your chair could actually move.
That was
I don't want to
anger.
know.
That was straight anger. Yeah, good for
I got
you.
my fupa on camera just the way I want it.
So, anything you want to talk about with Moonville, Aaron, before we move on?
Nope. I'd like to go back there during nighttime investigation with the whole crew. I think that'd be good. And cool finding that cemetery. I climbed to the top of the tunnel. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, she climbed up Moonville.
What?
Yeah, she
I climbed up to the very top of it.
Yeah, she climbed up. I have pictures of it. There's pictures. I think we posted them. Yeah. There's
the
pictures
Rocky
of
pose?
us inside the tunnel, and like we even dropped a few
Cards. So if you were there and you found our business card.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear dropped a few without thinking you guys were going to finish that sentence with dookies on top of the tunnel.
Oh no, we don't
few
duke. We just find the drop.
We review the dukes that you leave.
Yeah. So
You do the duke.
you do the duke.
Just
I
duke.
think we've made a horrible
do
mistake.
it.
Just duke it.
Yeah.
This is going to come back to literally haunt us.
Just duke it.
Just duke it. I need to-
Like, can we make a logo but have it like a street?
Play Gaga Ding Dong.
Just Duke it.
Play Gaga Ding Dong.
Just spook Duke it.
Just,
So it's gonna be like a skid mark and then a poop. Like instead of Nike, but a skid mark and then a poop, and then on top of it, it just says "Just Duke it."
perfection at its
Oh
finest.
jeez.
Gotta have flags with little phrases on it, like "You're the shit."
Would you guys buy this on a scale from 1 to 10?
Let
Yeah.
us let us know. Let us know.
If you want to buy some poop flags,
Because if you buy it, I'll make it. Like
Yeah,
I will
like,
go
we'll make
home
the
and
flags.
I will get some toothpicks and I will make handmade little.
make
toothpicks.
some fucking
I will
flags.
make some fucking flags.
and we will send them to you.
And
I want
I'll
some tombstone flags too, like
I'll even like hand
little
write
gravestones around the turd.
Them. Yeah, I'll even hand write them. Like I'll hand draw them
The
out.
tombstone could say "Rest in Pieces," and it's just pieces of shirt.
Hey, and
Or
each
instead of
flag is-
R.I.P., it's just R.I. shit. Rest in shit.
This ain't paranormal.
No, it's not. That's Moonville, and
in a nutshell.
a bunch of dookies.
Bunch of dukes.
We did investigate Sam's house. That was another thing we did because Sam's house is haunted, and I've had my own experiences there because I stayed there for a week, and I think that's when we started to discover it was haunted. Because there's something that peeks out of the kitchen and like looks at you if you're sitting on the couch. And
it just peeks out like, "Hey, you want some pizza? No, you good?" Okay.
then there was the day that it opened the freezer
Mm-hmm.
and then shut it,
Mm-hmm.
like it was getting an ice cream out or something. Like
It's a hungry spirit.
Oh, ice cream. We forgot about ice cream.
Oh man, I want ice cream.
that's how you know it's hot.
We were talking about ice cream on the drive back.
Now I want ice cream. When the fuck didn't we get ice cream?
We are getting ice cream after this podcast. It is happening.
Oh, it's fucking happening.
And then we're just gonna we're gonna take a black and white picture for the division page, and it's just gonna be us with our ice creams.
Oh
Dirty
god,
work.
I forgot about Turdy Work. Have you
She'll
seen
do
that
it.
show?
No.
I've seen the commercials, but all I know is she makes things out of poop and sells it.
There you go. Hook us up.
The whole town does it.
The whole town. It's just a shitty ass town.
What
Literally a shitty ass town.
Literally.
What did they say?
Dirty
The
work.
chick from Turdy Work might sue if we start doing all this stuff with poop.
You don't own the rights to poop.
I know.
Okay.
Because there's a book that says everybody poops.
You
Everybody
don't
does
have the
poop.
copyright on shit.
And if you sue me, I will bring that book to the fucking case and just hold it in front of the judge and be like,
Let's just collab. Let's all get along and let's collab.
Do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You send us shit, we'll send you shit.
Just do it.
Literally.
Mhm.
I don't think I want to get a package in the mail that's just shit. I don't think I want that.
You go to Texas and get chocolate covered armadillo shit.
I feel bad for anybody who's watching right now.
I know.
Is
How
this
did
show
this
about ghosts or poop? Like, I'm
this
not really sure.
show turn shitty really quick?
It's a shit- This is a shit show.
It is a literal shit show. Anyway, so we investigated Sam's house. What's the one main thing that happens at Sam's house? It's the best part.
It's the best part.
Yeah, what is that, Sam?
The ghosts just want to get wet in my sink, in my bathroom sink. They turn the faucet on. Always the cold side. They always turn it on.
Hi, Lindsay. Sorry about the other night.
Hello.
What?
That comment on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, I was drunk, Lindsay.
Oh.
My bad.
I told her.
It's
I
good.
warned her.
I was drunk.
But yeah. So actually, the other night when we were all hanging out outside,
Oh yeah.
the kitchen faucet turned on, which is weird because I went back inside to check on Rasputin because it was the 4th. Was it the 4th of July?
It was the 3rd.
It was the 3rd, and everybody was like setting off fireworks and stuff. So Rasputin was kind of freaking out. So he was like crying and whining. So I went back inside and I looked at the faucet and it was on. So I opened up the window and I asked Jeff if he left the faucet on, and he said no. So now they've moved to the kitchen sink. So. I don't know.
Yeah, and it wasn't on. I went in to check on the cat first, and that's when I saw Rasputin was freaking out a little bit, spinning in circles by the door. And that faucet wasn't on when I went in there. And Sam went in after that, and it was on. So usually it's not the kitchen sink, it's the bathroom sink that turns on.
Yeah, it's the bathroom sink that usually turns on, but they've moved to the kitchen. I don't know.
We had a theory about that. I think it went out the window with the kitchen sink turning on because the spirit that we think is there is a little girl. And the way the kitchen sink is set up, it's set back so far she couldn't reach it.
Mm-hmm.
But the bathroom sink, the handle is like right there by the edge, so you could easily reach up and grab it. But that kind of goes out the window with the kitchen sink getting turned on, unless it wasn't the little girl that turned this one on.
She's growing.
Or she's growing.
Aww.
Building
She's getting older
and growing.
I did have a cat toy thrown at me while we were sitting in that one room.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
the only other thing that happened. Like the faucet did turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after Erin went to the bathroom, she came down. I was sitting on the steps and I just suddenly heard water running. So I ran upstairs and yeah, sure enough, the bathroom sink was on. So that's the second time I've seen it personally. The first time I've ever seen it was when I stayed there. We actually, I think the light turned itself on too that night because we were sitting down
Yeah, I just got home from
talking.
work.
And then you asked me, like, did you leave the light on in the bathroom? I was like, I never even went upstairs. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I go up to turn out the light and the sink's on.
So, and the cat just sees stuff. Like she's been freaking out lately, and
She comes bolting out of the basement quite often.
And then she'll look
and then
back, like
turns
something
around
was
and
like
looks at the door.
chasing her. She's like,
Yeah, Josh, I remember the time you were there when it happened too.
Oh, it happened when Josh was there.
oh yeah, it's happened when my sister's been there. Josh has been there. Like
I think it's going to happen for at least everyone who's there. At some point,
it happened
you're
to
going to find
It
out.
happened to Aaron.
Like, really, that's it. I mean, the faucet turning on. I've seen the whoever peeking around the corner. The one time they open and shut the freezer. The kitchen sink turning on now. I mean, it's like little stuff. Like, it keeps adding a little bit more.
So if you come
Hey,
to
Josh
my,
got that.
if you come to my house and you
You come over to my house.
if you've never experienced it, you will. So
Go
I
for
think
that.
it's just my ghost, and she's just like, "Hey, wash your hands, you nasty fucking bitch."
You come over to my house. You go upstairs in the bathroom. Ghost
One
turn on
of
the
your
faucet
ghosts-
for you. It goes a drip, drip, drip.
This is the ghost that got invited into the house. Sam has her own attachments on top of that.
I love it all the same,
Oh,
except for that
yes.
one. That one can go fuck himself. Aaron knows what I'm talking about.
I'm just waiting. Like, we've been sitting in this room long enough, and I was in here working all night, and I had 3 pop figures thrown at me.
Throw a pop figure. Come on.
Yeah, like throw a fucking pop figure.
We'd love to have some paranormal shit happen during our show.
Like, it never
Pop it.
happens when
Maybe
anyone
the
else is
best
here.
time for it to happen is literally in the middle of the podcast.
Right. Like, we have cameras going. I left a camera going on the one that keeps getting thrown for 4
Come on,
hours
Gary.
last night.
Gary's our provoker. He provokes all spirits even when we tell him not to.
Yeah.
So come on.
I
mean, I know you have to live here tonight.
I know. Come on, do it your own
No, I
way.
did that last
and we
night.
get to leave,
Well,
but
Well, I know you did. We're not, like I said, we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I did that last night. He tried to kill me. Stop provoking. For now. Take a little break from it.
till the next investigation.
Till the next investigate. I don't have to stay there, though. That's why I like him.
I just saw some fucking shadow out there.
Like, for real?
Yes. All right, I'm not going to be the weird one, but it like dipped out and dipped back in.
Maybe what happens is all our energy in this room pushes them out of the room. And
It's like-
that's
And
why
they're
when
like,
Gary's
"You
in there
guys
by
done in
himself, that's
there?"
when it
Like-
happens.
They just peeked around like, you guys done in there? Like,
I saw almost like it was like a ball.
Yeah,
like
but
a
that
black
light just
ball,
turned on.
And then I looked and it like dipped out. Like, Is that maybe what it was then?
No.
What light?
That light by the couch just turned on.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we need some activity in here.
Yeah, you need to come in
like,
here.
it needs to be on
and
camera.
We're in here.
Come on in, man. You're welcome to come hang out with us. Come on.
More the merrier. Come on in now.
So what else? We didn't have much happen at Sam's. Erin got a cat toy thrown at her.
Mm-hmm.
We got the faucet to come on. We didn't get no AVPs. Nothing notable collected. So
But I would like to sometime get the spirit box. The spirit box stuff that I had caught of her singing and
Mhm.
yeah,
all the
we'll
other-
put that stuff
all
on the
other
website too.
spirits
Definitely need to get that.
talking to her, like encouraging her to sing.
Because
That
was
cute.
fantastic EVP
Yeah.
there.
It really was. And they were even talking about music and stuff, and you just hear her talk or her start to sing, and then one of the female spirits that came over, she just was saying, "You get it, girl," like just kind of like encouraging her, like, "Come on, let's go, like you're doing
Yo,
great."
yeah, girl.
Go get it, girl.
And
She's
Don't get it.
she's a kid. Don't be crazy.
And when we're talking singing, like
It's not what I meant.
it wasn't a brief thing.
Jeez.
We couldn't chalk it up to it was just radio coming through because this went on for almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it was it's at different times.
Yeah, it's
too,
not
like,
a Tool song.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
Yeah,
We'll have that for you guys.
That's
maybe
more
on
like
our
12 or
next show.
13, but
yeah. So we'll
Right.
have that for you soon. I'll put that together. I'll work on that.
And
get that together. Definitely get that together.
we do have a private investigation coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be our first private investigation, so
We actually got the paperwork back for that today.
got our
Good.
legal paperwork back. So we will be setting up
Mhm.
our pre-investigation and interview.
And yeah, he's been saying, like, because I work with the guy, and he was talking to me about how he told me the ghost name and kind of a little backstory behind it, and I'll get to that, like, when we're actually are we gonna do a show before that private investigation? I mean,
Depends on when we schedule it. We're going to do like August.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
we'll do a
let's that in
show.
August.
Well,
Maybe talk about it on the Aftermath
Yeah.
podcast after Mifflin.
yeah, we'll put it in there with Mifflin.
Yeah, he's been
Man, that's gonna be
he's
a
just
big
been
show.
saying one of his roommates basically moved out, and a lot of shit's been happening since then. So I just think it's a shift in the energy, like something moved, something changed. So the ghost is like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
The whole world is a shift in energy
Uh-huh.
right now.
so I'm just saying.
I
like,
think that's why so much stuff is happening, because the whole world is shifting.
Should be an interesting investigation. He gave us full ability to provoke as much as we want.
Which is A-OK with me.
yeah. So just
gonna-
yeah, that'll be good. We'll set it up and
That ghost ain't ready. I'm showing up with rubber gloves and Vaseline.
What else?
knowing this guy, he's probably got some at his house.
Well,
Just kidding.
We'll probably have a couple of different
I actually don't.
locations rolled
That's what
into
I'm
it.
sitting here thinking about. Like, do I? No, I don't. I use butter.
Okay. That's what we need. That's what we need. If you could just leave the Vaseline and the gloves at the house when you guys leave, it's great.
Erin's just zoning out now. She's like, fuck this.
All right.
It's not paranormal.
So are we getting on to Mifflin, or what are we doing?
Oh, there was one more. I talked about it in the update, so I don't talk about too much. The only thing I did was go to Ghost Trestle and Adrian,
Mm-hmm.
which is a haunted like bridge. It's all graffitied up. Kind of reminded me of the one bridge we go to,
Gibbs Bridge.
Gibbs.
Bridge.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of that, except it was a bridge you could just go under. Like I don't even know if you can get up on top of it. Just like right in the middle of a little country road like that, but it's an overpass.
Not to change subject, but yeah, we should probably do that since it's like an open thing. We should probably just go do a little mini impromptu like investigation at Gibbs, just because we've caught some good stuff.
And I didn't think about it until now, but that's the only other place I've ever gotten a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Is the investigation we did at Gibbs Bridge. That one side of the bridge, I just couldn't take my eyes off it. There was something there that was
As long as
just
the's no teenagers.
drawing me in.
Yeah.
That's the worst
We-
thing. It's a teenager
we-
hangout spot.
We tried to go one time. Literally, they were grilling on the bridge. They pulled the grill off the truck. They were grilling out, just chilling on the bridge.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where are we?
Yeah, the
Where
last
the
time
fuck?
we went, there was a bunch of teens out there toking up and drinking,
Yeah.
and Sam's just out loud talking shit about them the whole time. Like
And-
bunch of fucking kids, goddamn
And then
fucking kids.
I stopped and I looked over and I got real quiet and really loud. I said, "Oh my God, do you guys see that? I'm gonna go check it out." So I started walking towards it, walking towards it, walking towards it, and then all of a sudden I turned around and started screaming and running back towards the bridge, saying, "We gotta get the fuck out of here!"
And then
they took the fuck off. They took off, and we were like, "All right, now back to the investigation."
Now that we ran these kids out of here.
Now that the kids are gone.
Wait, that's the second time we did that, ain't it?
Yeah.
Or was that the first time?
No, we did it before.
Yeah, I did it. I remember I did it once before because I was like, what the fuck is that? And we just started running and screaming and like getting in the car and like peeling out. And we just looked behind us and the whole group of kids is like booking it to their car. Like they don't even know what they're running from. They just seen us book it and they knew we were ghost hunters. So they're like, oh, fuck if they're running.
And then we just got in we just went back.
So if you ever go someplace that is public and haunted and you want to clear it out, pretend you know what you're doing. Pretend you saw something scary. Run and start screaming. Everyone will leave. And then you can go back and it's all yours.
Make sure you use the verbiage. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
We're going to try
I've
that
been
at
doing this for
Moonville.
so long. Oh, we should.
You got to build it up too. Like I ain't seen nothing like that before.
Like, let's go check it out.
I ain't seen nothing like that before. I ain't seen nothing. Just start fucking running, man.
We got to go.
You got to throw a Lodi out there too while you're running. Oh, Lodi! It's on my tail. Oh, Lodi.
I think I just spoke it out.
I dropped the spook.
It's fabulous.
That is the
Wow.
shit of the bridge. Anyway, yeah, so Ghost Wrestle, not much happened. I didn't catch no evidence. All I did was like a 10-minute EVP recording. We had a shadow figure come out of the woods, like walking towards us, and I was sitting Indian style under the bridge by myself, and I seen this thing like walking out. Now there were weird ass sounds coming from that direction. And once I seen that come out of the tree line, I like was like, "Oh no, you don't. You fucking stay there." And it literally just stopped and stayed there. And then slowly Homer Simpson walked backwards back into the woods. Yeah. The person who was with me is sensitive as well, and she really hates being there. I got in the car to start it up to leave. Engine just like revved, like loud as hell. All of a sudden, you're just like I jumped out of my skin. She jumped, and she's like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "I didn't do anything." So we got the hell out of there. We U-turned it and got the hell out of there. I'm like, yeah. I told her I was going to go back that night by myself. She wasn't cool with it, so I just didn't go.
So what you're saying is we need to take a trip up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We need to head up there. Not tonight.
Tonight. Why not?
Tonight.
I mean, I'm not doing anything.
I'm
I
not
just don't want
doing
to. I
anything.
just kind of don't want to go to Adrian.
We don't need to tell people where we're at anyway.
We just.
Yeah, there's going to be shit waiting for us
But
there.
It's not going to Adrian for the reason you want to go to Adrian. We're going to Adrian because it's something that we
Ghosts.
all want to check out, and I think it would be a cool
Okay.
add-on.
Okay.
Let me finish talking!
I get the point.
Oh.
I got the point.
Aggressive. So aggressive.
I got the point.
Love you, Gary.
I know.
You fucking love me.
You love to yell at me. I love you too, Sam.
So this is Division 3.
This is what we're like.
This
All
is
the
our
time.
dysfunction.
We love each other,
Clearly-
but we want to fucking kill each other.
Clearly, on
So-
episode 4 is when we've all gotten calm about being on webcams because this is the natural flow now.
Yeah.
We're no longer nervous. We're not just staring at the camera like with no words. Like
Except for,
I'm
except
done.
for Aaron in the beginning.
I need to say one thing. One thing. Aaron, you look mighty pretty today.
Thank you.
You look
I
very
know.
witchy-like, and it's very cute.
I'm gonna go put on my Fleetwood
your
Mac
little
album.
shawl thingy and your little like bandana thingy in your hair. You look cute.
Thank
Oh,
you.
she showed up
Yeah,
to
it's
bring
so
the devil in
cute.
here.
I like
I
it.
did
She-
bike 6.6
Yeah, I saw that. I was just gonna
miles
say
today.
that.
And I did get a bike from Jeff's mom. Thank you, Robin. It's fucking awesome. And I aired up the tires, and it's a really nice freaking bike. Really nice freaking bike. And I really appreciate you giving it to me.
She's gonna be biking 6.66 miles in no time.
Oh, I will.
Ooh.
I'm all for it.
Hey, oh shit.
What's that?
How's it going, Storm and Norman's girl? Can you tell us about the most scary haunted place you guys have been to and how scary it was?
Like, do you want us our personal experiences as a group? Because
Yeah, because I think we
They're
all have
different.
different personal experiences about what the most scary place we've been to. But as a team, the answer would have to be different because we all haven't gone to the same place together. So what are you asking? Are you asking individually, like what's the scariest places we've been to? Are you asking as a team, what's the scariest place we've been to? I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm scared to say it.
How do you spell it?
Dejawith? I really don't want to butcher it. As a group.
Okay. My personal opinion as a group is when we went to Gore Orphanage and those fucking lights
Oh,
in the goddamn woods and the witchcraft shit hanging from the
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up.
like that made us haul ass. Like we fucking just were like, nope. Like it. You guys want to explain it? Because I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Someone was reenacting some Blair Witch stuff out there for sure.
That's for sure.
There were all kinds of idols hanging from the trees.
Yeah, so we're out there for a while, and we're just doing our thing, asking questions, trying to get some EVPs, using the ghost box. Had all this equipment going, and I think we were there for like a half hour before we even noticed this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were there for a little bit. We look up, and there's a Blair Witch thing hanging out of the trees. Yeah. Like somebody made it, tied it all together, made the Blair Witch symbol, just hanging out of a tree.
Then I looked over, and
once we saw that one,
we're surrounded by them.
Yeah,
this is a fucking
seance they were all over the place, and it was a big open circle in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
like if you go into these woods, it's like on the middle of BFE nowhere. This is like where Gore Orphanage used to be before it burned down. And it's this big circle out in the middle of these woods. Like, we've been out there several times. And I think that was going to be our last time at night anyway. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, after a half hour, we're just surrounded by Blair Witch symbols hanging out of the trees. Like, they literally felt like they just appeared. Like, how did we not notice them?
Like, Erin noticed one of them, and then all of a sudden she's walking around and she's like, wait, there's like more. There's like a lot more. And there was maybe like 6 of them just hanging from the trees. And it just seems, it literally just, as soon as we found those, the energy just changed. And it got really dark and really heavy. And as soon as we started noticing it, like, we just kept looking in the woods and looking in the woods.
Yeah, because there was something in the woods.
Yeah, there's 4 balls.
Yeah, there was like 4 balls of light.
Only you, Sam. Only you.
Actually, that night, there were only 2 balls.
Not long after that, I remember just scrolling on Facebook and seeing some ad.
Yeah, you found something about something from that area.
Yeah, it was some type of lights people have seen out in that area. So
didn't they call them like ghost lights?
Yeah, ghost lights or like.
So we see these lights like deeper in the woods. There was like about 4 of them, and at first, we thought it was like reflections from like an animal's eyes or something, or maybe a reflection off of a sign in the distance on the other side of the woods where the street was. But the way these lights were moving was not natural. Like, there'd be like 4 of them. Let me give an example here. There'd be these 4 lights, and either they'd be straight across or they'd be up and down. Like, they kept moving like that. And then the bottom one would like flip around and come on top. And then the other bottom one would go around, and they just kept moving in these weird ways. And I kept trying to film it. We were filming on we were on Facebook Live, actually. We were live when we were seeing this, and this is before Division 3 AM.
Yeah, and I did have my video cameras though, and I did get a little bit of it, like on one of the end tapes, so I'll have to pull that and we'll put it on the site and you guys can check it out. But yeah, it was
we started trying to do other stuff, but when we looked back, the lights were closer. Yeah. And they kept getting closer. And then all of a sudden, as they're just moving towards us, there's this evil growling sound. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to say like coyote, but wolf, but it was so much more guttural.
It was not.
We got the fuck out of there at that point. Yeah. Like, soon as we heard that, like, we ran. Yeah. I still have the photos. I mean, there's nothing in the photos, but I started snapping photos behind me as we were running. And after we got in the car to peel out, like, I'm taking photos out the window, like, hoping, like, I catch whatever the hell it is that was coming at us. Yeah. But we didn't see anything. We only saw the lights. We heard the growling. And the Blair Witch shit that just popped up out of it, that was a crazy fucking night.
Like it literally felt like someone just snuck in and hung those up. Because
right,
I swear to God, they weren't there when we.
Like somebody just like slipped up in there and we didn't see them. They just started hanging this stuff to scare us. Like, but there's nobody out there.
And I know that the Blair Witch shit's like just a movie.
Yeah, I even looked it up to see if like the symbol meant anything. But I mean, technically, it doesn't matter. That's how witchcraft stuff comes about. Like, as long as they believe it, they can make it real. That's, I mean, how spells work, I guess. Like, you can write your own spells if you believe it's gonna happen. It's a working spell.
Yeah. So that's what I think was.
That's a segue. Holy shit. That's a segue. We got this book here. I just wanted to show this. I'm not going to really go into depth on it, but this is the Book of Forbidden Knowledge. It's black magic, superstitions, charms, and divinations. Now, it says it's a first edition from 1910, but a lot of the stuff in here is actually from the early 1800s. And honestly, it's worth reading for a laugh. Like, I wouldn't do anything out of this book because some of it's fucking ridiculous. Like, if you want to get rid of a toothache, you got to use a man's semen. Or
I tried.
She tried it. She tried it. It's actually in here. I don't know exactly where that one's at, but like, let me find my favorite spell in here. The other one to get rid of a toothache is to take a nail and dig it into your gums and cut it open, and then go bury the nail under the moonlight in the yard, and your toothache will go away.
So will you.
So will you.
And then you go get a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
If you wake up the next
It will go away because you will be dead. Let's see. This one. How to make yourself invisible. You got to pierce the right eye of a bat and carry it with you. You will be invisible. That's the whole spell.
Poor bat.
Like somebody...
Oh.
How many people in the 1800s were walking around with bat eyes in their pocket? Can't see me.
But that spell doesn't really clarify.
Thinking they were
You need to
invisible.
hold that
John
bat
Cena
eye.
carries bat eyes in his pocket.
Like, are you piercing the?
Can't see me.
Are you piercing the bat's eye and carrying the whole bat with you, or are you piercing?
That's what I'm
it and
saying.
Taking the eye out and carrying it.
Yeah, it literally does not explain that. It says pierce the right eye of a bat and carry it with you. So you're carrying a whole fucking bat with a pierced eye in your pocket.
Can I get the bat an eye patch because I just gouged its eye out?
I don't know. That sounds pretty batty.
Oh, the puns in this show.
Yeah, it's puntastic. Somebody said that in the chat. That wasn't that Josh? Puntastic.
Probably. It was probably Josh.
Let's see. How to, when a person has sprained himself, gold roots for the teething of children. Like, this is the longest spell in the book, is like how to help with a child's teething. There's like so many dog drool. Put dog drool in their mouth.
Tasty.
I do that all the time.
It's natural.
Yeah, you've never seen my dog drink water, have you? Like,
We'll
he'll provide buckets of that for you if you need it.
Isn't this a country song? A drink for horses? When a gun is bewitched.
What did they say? What did she say?
Have any of you ever been possessed?
Oh, okay. We were going to talk about that today.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, hey!
I would argue that Sam
Why
did
did you
one
do
of the times
that?
we were at Moonville.
Because why do you still have the sticker on it?
That's not the sticker from that.
Oh.
That was my $5 wine sticker.
But why is that on a...
So all wine costs $5 when I buy it.
He's a thief.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Well, you son of a bitch. Now I can't do it anymore.
Well, I bought you this, and I was like, why did this fucker leave a tag on it looking all janky?
Samantha,
So, what?
I would argue you were at Moonville one of the times we went.
Who?
Full on possessed, I wouldn't say. Being possessed is probably not what you think it is. Like, I don't know if you guys think it's like in the movies. It's not.
It's not.
It's basically when your
It
mind
can be.
Your mind just spaces. That's the kinds that I've went through. Your mind just spaces and you lose time. So I think I have at Moonville. When I first went there, it was at dusk, so it was getting dark. And me and Jeff had just spent maybe a half an hour inside the tunnel. And I remember walking out, sitting on the side of the tunnel, and waking up about a half an hour later. Jeff said I was just staring off at nothing. And what broke me out of it was when these two kids walked by. They were maybe like 14. I just got really mad, I guess, and I cussed at them. And then I just snapped out of it, and I didn't know where the hell I was.
And the toad that jumped on, jumped.
Huh?
The toad.
What toad?
The one you almost stepped on.
Oh.
I told you about this before.
Yeah, I almost stepped, like a toad, like jumped out in front of my feet, and I almost stepped on it. And
she was in basically a trance. She sat down on the side of the tunnel, just outside the tunnel, refused to leave. She wouldn't move. She wouldn't talk to me. 20 minutes, a good 20 minutes. She just sat there, spaced out. Wouldn't just shrug me off if I tried to get her to move or, hey, let's go. Like, it was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, we were going to talk about this on the show anyway, so since you asked, we're going to go into that. If you watched, that was our Hydro episode, right?
What?
With the haunted objects.
Mm-hmm.
If you watched the episode where we were showing off the haunted objects, Sam brought a haunted object over that we did not know she had, and I asked her to leave it here.
I knew she had it.
Well, Jeff knew she had it. Me and Aaron were like, what the fuck? So Sam left it here, and I kind of forgot about it. Like, it was still in the same spot after we did the show, and it was there for days. It was about a week. So I don't really come in here much when we're not doing the show. And I forgot the item was there. And all of a sudden, during that time, I started feeling really weird as the days went on. I started becoming more and more depressed for no reason. And my thoughts started getting really dark. Like, I even knew personally that the thoughts were not my own thoughts. Like, somehow I was able to just go, that's not me thinking that. Where's this coming from? So I did not think about this item being in the house. I was trying to figure out other reasons this was happening, like physical reasons. Like, maybe since I just moved in here, there's like black mold or something, and I'm getting like the effects of some sort of toxicity from that. Maybe I ate something bad. Maybe I'm getting sick. I just thought, something was physically ailing me that was making me feel this way, because I was having chest issues. I thought I was gravely sick at this point. Like, I wasn't getting up. I was drinking tons of tea and just feeling generally sick. And it made me start to feel spaced out. Like, I was in my body, but I was being pushed back. Like, it almost felt like I was looking out of my eyes as like a window. Like, I wasn't actually there looking out of them myself. I was pushed back and just staring out these windows. Like, I did not feel like I was there. And as the days went on and it gradually got worse, suddenly I found myself like in the shower, just staring at the wall for 45 minutes, thinking of all the different ways to kill myself. And they were pretty graphic. They were pretty they're pretty scary. Like, it started scaring myself, because now all of a sudden I'm thinking of all these ways to kill myself, and I know I don't want to kill myself. I know I'm not thinking of the ways I could kill myself. I just don't know where the thoughts are coming from. And that happened twice, where I'd space out for almost an hour, and that's all I thought about. And then when I'd come back to, I'd start thinking, like, what the hell's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? The second time it happens, when it popped in my head that haunted object was in the house, and immediately, like, I got out of the shower and I'm like, that fucking thing's in here. That's got to be it. So I start cleansing the house immediately. I go grab my sage. I start tracing everything through the house. I'm burning every corner. I'm kicking it out. And finally I tell it, you need to go. Send it out the front door. But because I'm in an apartment, I didn't do it that way. I sent it out this window. I left this room for last because this is where everything was coming from. And after I did that, I just shut the door and went and sat down. All of a sudden, there was banging on my door while it's closed. No one's in here. Cats aren't in here, nothing. I hear stuff falling and being thrown. I opened the door, and it looked like it just trashed it. Like, what I think happened was I did the cleansing and it didn't leave. So now it was stuck in here with the cleansing done, and it was fucking going crazy.
Oh no, it came back to my house.
Oh, it came back to her house the next day because after that moment, I took the item and put it in the trunk of my car. I messaged Sam. I said, I'm not keeping that thing in my house anymore. Take it back where you got it. It's definitely evil. There's something wrong with it. I was so scared at this point because of how it made me feel. I did not want to ghost hunt ever again. I was going to quit. That's how scary it was. Like, to actually deal with something that dark after doing this for so long, and then all of a sudden something like that happens, it throws you for a loop because you're like, I've been doing this long, and there's actually shit like that out there. I never thought I'd run into it, but I did.
But after
leave it to Sam.
Yeah.
And then I took it and put it in Sam's mailbox the next day, and
let me tell you what happened. So, hi, it's me, Jessica.
I've got a message for you.
No, yeah. So I got home from work, pulled it out of the mailbox. I went inside my house, and my dog had thrown up green shit all over his bed and the floor.
Like exorcist shit.
He had like accidents on the floor. He doesn't do that. Like, he's a heckin' good boy. Erin knows. Like, he's grew up around her. Like, so about a day later, he stops eating. He's just not himself. Lethargic, not moving. What?
Talk straight in.
Talk into it.
Yeah, there you go.
He's not eating. He's not acting normal. I just chalked it up to maybe him like getting into something he shouldn't have or something. So a couple days go by and he's still not eating and he's still not drinking. Well, he's drinking water and he's trying his hardest to like get his fluids in. And so Jeff's like, well, if he doesn't get better, we'll call the vet and we'll set him up an appointment. So we did that because he wasn't getting any better. We took him in, took him home. Jeff went to work. His spleen had ruptured. I cry every time I talk about it because he died for about 25 seconds on my dining room floor. And yeah, so Jeff rushed home. We got him in the car. He had to get emergency spleenectomy. He had to get his spleen removed. It was about four sizes bigger than a normal spleen for a dog. Like, they're supposed to be like that big, and it was like this fucking big, and it was all fucking exploded and bloody and weird looking when they took it out. And she sent me videos or pictures of it. He had to get 36 staples in his stomach, and he had to get his stomach tacked. So the last 2 months have been pretty rough for him. But he's all better now. His stitches are out, and he's normal again. But I chalk it up to it took it out on me. Like, it didn't like me leaving it here, and it didn't like going back to me after it had already been here. And then Gary tried to cleanse it, so it probably was pissed and just kind of took it out on me and the thing I love most in the world. So.
What did you do with that object?
I bound it in black, wrapped it in a black bag, sewed it shut, wrapped black yarn around that, sewed that on there, and shoved it in the trunk of Jeff's car, where it sits right now.
Do you guys plan on bringing it back?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we go to Gatlinburg, because we're going to Gatlinburg, because my sister and the greatest man she could ever find in the world is getting married on the 25th of July, and we're gonna do it in Gatlinburg, and Gatlinburg is pretty close to where I took that from, so it will be returned exactly how I have it right now, back into the tree that I found it at. And maybe a cleansing or something will be done around it because I need to apologize for that because...
So, if you're there, do not take this out of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find something black in the tree, don't take it out of the tree.
The history of the object is on the show that we did on haunted objects, so if you want to go back and check that out.
Yeah, if you check out episode 3.
It came from a place called Wheatland's Plantation, so you can look that up if you'd like.
It's a historical...
And that's where it will go back to.
It's a historical place, so it's open to the public. Like, you can't go inside, but the grounds are pretty open. So we'll take it back to the exact tree we found it in, and we'll put it back there.
Yeah, definitely go back and check that episode because you could see me and Aaron were affected by it even being in the room at the time it came out.
Yeah, they did not like it.
So
Nice.
I believe it was at that time where it started to latch onto me, and because it never left, it just took it further. So I consider that to be the first time I've ever been possessed. And that was very recent.
What did she say?
She said she's sorry that happened to your dog.
He's okay now. He's a heckin' good boy.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
He's doing really good. He's back to normal, playing, jumping, running. We took him for a walk today. He demanded a walk at midnight last night, so my ass had to get up and take him for a walk. So I was out walking him at midnight last night because he demanded it. So he's good now. His stomach is firmly tacked to the side of his body, and it is he's good. He's good. If you wanna see pictures, just go to my Facebook.
Yeah. So that's our experience with that haunted object on the show.
But her question is a really good segue into your topic.
I know. That was a really good segue because we were already going to talk about that. But yeah, it was very recent, though, that whole possession thing. So that would be my first time being possessed, I think, and hopefully the last. I'm not going to Zach Bagans it and be possessed everywhere I go.
The floor creaked. Holy shit, there's a demon inside me.
What's the meme I saw where it's like ghost hunters in an old 1800s home, and it's like, is there a spirit here? Door creaks. So your name is William.
So Aaron, have you ever technically been possessed, would you say?
No. After we went to Waverly, though, I kind of had those feelings where my feelings weren't my own.
Yeah, Waverly might have been a slight possession too.
It kept wanting me to go back there, and I was like, I don't know.
You get
it was
that
like
a
another
lot,
something. It's just like come back.
No, with places
and I
wanting
just
her to
didn't
go
like
back.
the way it made me feel, but I wouldn't say possessed. But it did give me feelings of going back and just bad thoughts. Like, what if this happened? What if this happened? What if you did this? And it's like, that's not even my thoughts. Like, it was very strange.
Mm-hmm. So no actual possessions, like, ever?
No. Not that I can recall.
I'm the boring one of this group because I don't ever get feelings of that kind of nature at all. I don't get affected by anything. I don't think I've even ever been scratched. So I'm pretty boring when it comes to that. I don't get those effects. We went to Mansfield Prison, and literally every single one of these at one time walked into solitary confinement. They all said the same thing separately. I had nothing.
Yeah, what was that? The stomach issues?
Mm-hmm.
Felt like I got punched in the damn stomach walking in there.
The only time he's ever been affected, that I've seen him actually be affected, is at Bobby Mackey's in the basement. And
Bobby Mackey's is kind of a given.
Yeah.
If you're not affected at Bobby Mackey's, you ain't never going to be.
And the only effect was a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that at Waverly. That's how it all started. Like, well, you guys had headaches.
Mm-hmm.
My vision went like triple.
Well, I only had a headache in the surgery room.
That's where it all happened. Like, and it was everybody who was in that one corner because there was like two other people.
Well, we weren't the only ones either.
Yeah, there were two other people we didn't know that started feeling it, and the people on the other side of the surgery room, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And when we all walked in the hallway, only the people that were getting those feelings saw that black ball shoot over our head and dive into the ground. Like that to me is like the first major thing I've ever physically seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the years I've been doing it, like I've seen shadow figures out of the corner of my eye, but this was right in front of us. Like no sound, dove in the ground. I thought it was a bat flying over our head or a bird or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a ball just fly out. Like it was like at the moment we seen it, all our ailments went away.
Yeah.
It was like it was inside all of us.
And it just
flew
came
out
and just like, oh, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah, this huge black ball.
That was in the shadow hallway is where it went.
And we had a tour guide with us, and he was in front of us. It dove into the cement right at his feet, and even he didn't see it.
Yeah. He didn't.
Like I can never forget that. Like I think about it often. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
So those are our possession stories. We talked about all the places we've been recently, the experiences we had there. That's the experience we had with possession from the haunted object from the last show. I'm more careful now about bringing haunted objects here. Except I was just recently told a what do you say, superstition about this Ouija board I own, because it was at a garage sale. I guess you're not supposed to buy someone else's Ouija board and bring it in your house, which doesn't make sense to me because you have to buy it from the store anyway.
Yeah, but it never was. It never actually belonged to anybody.
All right.
When you get it from the store,
Yeah,
it never
technically.
actually belonged.
When you buy it from somebody else, you don't know what they did with it before you got
Well,
it.
I don't know what anybody at the factory did with it. Like, people
did.
can test them all out.
They made it and they put it in packaging and they sent it to the store. That's what they did.
Except for drunk Leroy, who's like, I'm going to play with one of these. And then he boxes it up and sends it out.
Did he scream Leroy Jenkins as he did it?
Leroy, holy shit.
All right. So, but what I was saying about the whole segue thing, like it could be a good segue into what the topic that we have that Aaron chose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have
Because
our
it's
topic.
not technically possession, but it's
still
it kind of is. It's relatable.
So,
Aaron, you want to tell us?
We're going to talk about dream premonitions, which is a good topic for us because I've been having a ton of them lately. I don't know what you guys have been having.
Every day of my life.
Every day of my life. Every day I'm dreaming.
Not since I was like 13.
Hey, Jeff, can you grab the berries?
The Oops berries.
Mm.
Sounds like
he wants you to go underneath the table and grab his
No.
berries.
Wait a minute, here.
Get out of there! Get out! Stop!
I'll be right back.
He's going to get my berries.
I want a berry.
So, dream premonitions. Something I think everybody here, maybe not Jeff, has experienced.
Jeff's the boring one.
Yep, Jeff doesn't have much happen to him. I think it's childhood trauma.
No, he lived a good life.
Maybe that's why. Maybe we're all fucked up. Yeah, it was pretty decent.
Pretty good.
Yeah, except for that time outside the church.
No.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did I tell you about that? I must have
No.
said that in one of my old episodes.
No. I was there.
No, you were not.
No.
I butterfly affected it.
All right. So
Dream premonitions. I don't know if any of you have ever had those type of. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen to you, but I thought it was a great topic. My family, we have a really strong history of dreams and like dream connections. My grandmother used to always have dreams, and they could finish each other's sentences with the dreams. They would have like almost the same dreams, so that was kind of neat. And then growing up, they would have these premonition dreams. A few of them actually came true. One was the 9/11 World Trade Center. My mom had a dream about 5 years prior to of the towers being hit. And then it happened. So, we're kind of like, man, how do you prove that I had these dreams? And she used to do dream journals and stuff like that. So, my grandma had dreams like that too. My mom just recently had a dream that something was going to happen in California, but it has not happened yet, so we'll see. And then she recently had a dream about something with a Navy ship, and then I had seen on the news not long after something with the Navy did happen. Something about, I don't know, something with the Navy. But anyway, I myself have had some dream premonitions ever since I was like in middle school, high school. And it was silly things, little things like my friend Laura had this beautiful long red hair, and I had a dream she'd cut it all off because she got head lice. And I went to school the next day, and her hair was cut. And she didn't have head lice, but her mom just decided that was the day to cut her hair. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like, I had that dream last night.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot more, but I can't even think of half of them now. And then just dreams in general. I think on the last episode we talked briefly about my last apartment, where I legit had like 40 dreams of my old apartment calling me back there. Like I had forgotten something, or I had to move back there, or I forgot some boxes. And I had definitely some strange spiritual activity at that house that was not good.
That you still kind of have.
Yeah, and it still kind of bugs me here and there. I haven't had one of those dreams in about 6 months, so knock on wood, like, it has not bothered me, but...
That's glass, not wood.
You know. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it was with that house and what it was with having these dreams, but I'm just curious if you guys have ever had dreams that had came true, or dreams that kind of like was an inkling of truth that something that had happened not long after.
I always wanted to be a fireman.
Always wanted to be a fireman.
He had dreams of being a fireman.
Is that what you...
Premonition dreams. But you can do anything you want to do, Gary.
It didn't come true.
Grow up to be whatever you want.
It's ridiculous.
And then, like, even when we went to Collingwood a few weeks ago, Collingwood Art Center, it's a historic area here, building.
Gotcha.
Me and Sam had dreams of these nuns, so it's like we're definitely affected dream-wise. Like, that's how...
It might be the easiest way for them to come through to, like, connect to us.
Yeah.
Because maybe we just close it off when we're awake.
Right.
Except for the nun that walked behind me in my kitchen, that I immediately saged the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, we
And
enter.
evicted her ass. Like, all right, like,
It's like we enter a different plane when we're asleep.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever seen Sam jump to sage. Normally she declines and declines and declines and refuses to do it. And she had that instance with the nun, and it was instant. Nope, I saged. Yep, I did it.
Yep, I did it. I'm not messing with any of that.
All it took was a nun, because Sam wasn't having none of that.
I wasn't having
none of that.
None of that.
So I'm just curious if have you guys ever had premonition type dreams? I'm really interested to see where my mom's dream goes with something that happens in California. Something devastating is what she said. And she's been pretty accurate about some of the dreams in the past. And then alongside with not just dreams, but premonition, when I was about 13 years old, we were on our way to a camp on 4th of July just to shoot some fireworks off with my dad's family, friends, and it was our whole family in the car. My mom, my dad in the front seat, my brother, me, and our family dog in the back seat. And the whole trip up there, I just had this really bad feeling that something was going to happen. My mom, she told us that we shouldn't go. She had a bad feeling, but my dad's like, oh, you're fine. We're going to have a good time. Let's just, blow some fireworks off. We won't stay the night. We'll just have a good time. So the closer we get, I just keep getting this bad feeling. I'm like, Dad, please slow down. Slow down. And we start going around this bend. I'm like, Dad, stop. We're going to get in an accident. And within, like, minutes, our car fucking flew off a cliff. A drunk driver had tried to pass on a non-passing lane and hit our family head on. And, like, we could all die that night. And we literally, like, crawled out of the remains. Like, I don't know how any of us survived it. But, like, I saw it happen before it happened. So, like, and if you were to look at the van, my dad still drove this van. I don't know how it was still driving condition. He drove this fucking van.
Sounds about your dad.
He did.
Yeah. We're going to need to see a picture of this van if you still have this van. Like, we need to see a picture.
He drove this van for, like, months after. And, like, the whole left side of the van was caved in. And the whole fucking thing, like, I didn't even know how you could drive it.
How was he even aerodynamic?
But if it wasn't for my dad's quick thinking and maybe me telling him, hey, Dad, we're about to get in an accident, so he was already alert.
Yeah, it made him more attentive.
Maybe we would have died, But the crazy thing is after that happened, the guy that hit us fled. And we never caught him. We found pieces of his car in the road. And we pieced it together like fucking Inspector Gadget, like Sherlock Holmes. We ended up tracking the kid down. He was some 20-year-old kid. He was leaving a Fairhaven beach party. He was wasted with his friends. And he found out that we were looking for him. We spent the whole summer trying to find this kid. And we found out who he was, and he had fled to Florida, and we kind of just stopped after that because he had already fled the state.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, our whole family could have died that night. But I premonitioned what was about to happen. And that's why, like, I'm very, like, as you guys can see, I'm very weird about being in a vehicle when I'm not driving.
She is. Like, if you're ever graced with the opportunity to go on a road trip with this woman, she will never let you fucking drive.
No.
Except for if you start out. So we went to Chicago couple years. Was it a couple years ago? It was
last year.
Last year we went, and we stayed at the haunted Congress Hotel, which was pretty awesome. And we're driving down there, and as soon as we get to Chicago,
Me too.
Erin takes the wheel, and you could tell her demeanor just like completely
it's like
changed.
Jesus take the wheel.
Because
Erin take the wheel.
Because I started driving, and I drove there, and then as soon as we hit Chicago traffic, I'm like, I'm not good in traffic. She's from fucking New York, so if anybody's good in traffic, it's her. So
I'm the same way.
But as soon as she got behind the wheel, like, she's like, all right, let's do this. And she's like, it completely changed, and
I'm not gonna die behind the wheel.
And even when we were going to Hocking Hills, I'm like, hey, if you get tired, like, I can totally drive. And she's just like, no, I'm good. But in the back of her mind is go, you ain't gonna fucking drive.
I had a migraine, like, the whole trip was ruined by migraine and, like, throwing up. But
so what you're saying is this trip that we're about to take is going to be interesting.
Oh, it's going to be.
I will not let you drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you know the reasoning as to why.
It's going to take me way
I've
longer.
been traumatized as a young child, and that wasn't the first accident I was in. I've been in lots of accidents after that, and it's like, damn, they keep trying to take me out. But,
we'll get to your question before the end of the show, Deja.
But just a little quick thing about the dad van that was all smashed to smithereens, and he still drove it. So my dad had driven it, and I think I was like 14, just about to turn 15, 16. I think I got my learner's permit. And so me and my sister were like, let's take Dad's van for a ride. So my dad's like, yeah, you can take it. So we went up to like Party City. And I tried to back up. And you know those like cables that come down at like an angle?
Yeah.
I fucking like backed the van into it and made the tiniest little fucking crack. And I drove home and I was like, Dad doesn't need to know shit, right? And she's like, yeah, no. I pull it in the driveway and my dad immediately was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The whole side of the van is fucking gone. And you found the littlest fucking crack. Like, how did you know? I was like, how did Dad know?
That's fantastic.
I was like, there literally is not a side to the van, but you found the tiniest little fucking crack. I'm like, damn it. But dads, they just fucking know.
Yeah, it is true.
They do. They know.
That's like, it's like stupid stuff with me. Like my shelves of movies, I could walk in a room and instantly know if one's missing.
That's how Josh is too. Like, yeah, Jen's told me all about it. Like
I'll come home from work when I was at my sister's, and they'd gone down and borrowed a movie, and as soon as I walked in the door, I immediately knew. It was like, they took one of my movies. Hey, you guys bring Back to the Future downstairs? Like, I didn't know what movie it was and everything. Like, oh, how'd you know? Like, you just walked in the door. I'm like, I just felt it. There's something missing.
That's good.
But I have lots and lots and lots of dream premonitions, so I'm not going to go into too many. But one that I always remember is I had this crazy dream that something was wrong with my side door at my old house. And somebody had like broke in. And it bothered me after I woke up. And it just kept bothering me. Like, I had to leave and go to work. So I left, and as I'm driving to work, like, I just have this bad gut feeling like my side door is open. So I drove back home to double check and make sure I locked it. And I checked, it was locked, but I still couldn't shake the feeling. I went back and checked a second time. Still locked. So I go to work. And the whole time I'm at work, I just got this bad feeling that my side door is open. And then I get a text. Why is the side door open? And I'm like, immediately, like, I go dead cold. Like, my veins just go cold. And I'm like, what? And it's like 5 seconds goes by. We got robbed. So I immediately leave work, rush home. Apparently, a half hour after I'd left for work, somebody came and broke out my kid's bedroom window, climbed in, and then ran over and unlocked the side door to let everybody else that was helping them steal my stuff in. So I already felt this before it happened. And I was like, it was a bad time. It was like a really bad time for that to happen. Because I had just gotten a contract deal to make 2 movies with a movie studio. And I was super excited. I had just finished the scripts. And the night before I had filmed something, they had stolen my laptop, so I lost all my scripts. And I lost my camera. So I was never able to do that contract. I never got to sign it because everything I needed was gone. So it was like something I really wanted was just like instantly taken away. Also, I was really behind on a lot of stuff financially, and I had just caught up. And now all of a sudden, like, I'm way behind again. Like, I sold all my ghost hunting equipment just to buy stuff for my kids that was stolen. So I sensed that coming. I've had dreams of accidents too before they happen, so I'm more. Oh, I thought a pop got thrown. I was like, "She picking up a pop? I didn't even see it get thrown." Pop figure, not soda pop. For those out there, not from our area.
Or pop, block and drop it.
But I've had dreams of accidents before they happen, and it makes me more aware. And I just never get in the accident. Like, I can see where it was going to happen. Wish I would have had one last night because I almost got in an accident last night. I definitely didn't see that one coming. That was almost like it was purposely put there. I also have dreams about things that are going to happen to other people. I have those often. I actually had a roommate who fucking hated my guts for that. I knew everything going on in their life and they never told me. I knew stuff that was going to happen. I knew conversations, and they refused to listen to me. And every single thing I told them came true, and they hated me for it. Like, it was my fault because I tried to warn them ahead of time, and they just did the shit anyway. Not my fault. That's why I really don't tell people when I know stuff that's going to happen to them unless they're in deathly danger. Like, if something was to come up with these guys and I saw something bad, like, I'd fucking tell them. And at least I know they'd listen. Most people won't. Like, I know somebody right now that I've had quite a few premonitional dreams recently. I've barely been sleeping because of them. They're fucking scary. But they're not going to listen. So I'm not telling any more stuff because I always feel like I'm going to get blamed for it. Like, I made it happen or something because I told you what I saw. So I don't want to be blamed or have any problem. But premonitional dreams, they suck. It's like a burden, especially if it's towards somebody else, because when you tell them, it feels like you're tampering.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Or they just think you're crazy, you know? Like, I just have...
Yeah, I won't talk to anybody who doesn't know me. Like, I won't tell somebody that doesn't know me. Like, immediately, you're just going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's how my mom is. Like, you know, she has these premonition dreams. Mm-hmm. And if you tell somebody, like, the World Trade Center's going to burn, they're going to be like, you're a fucking kook. And then when it happens, they're like...
Did you do it?
Yeah, did you do it? Did you have something to do with it?
Or it's like, she won't tell anybody, and then when she tries to be like, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you did. Mm-hmm. So, on note, if anything bad, really bad, devastating happens to California in the near future...
that second book next to the tapes.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, and if you do ever have... Maybe write it down and date it, just so people can, like... Or record yourself saying it with the date. That way.
Yeah, do stuff for validation. I personally have this.
I need to get one of those.
This is my dream book. I don't read it really often. Like, if I go back and look at this, I will see stuff that has already happened. And I wrote this before it happened. Yeah. This was written in December. And it's something that happens with Aaron. I'm not going to read all of it. I don't know what happens. I don't know. It says I was at your house, but it wasn't actually your house. Let's see. It was a blend of Christmas and a wedding and a birth announcement.
Baby pizza.
There was a dark-haired woman and a hairier than usual red-haired man.
Jeff.
What's up?
They were making...
And you're the dark-haired woman.
I know. That's why I said Jeff.
The man was making a pregnancy announcement. The woman wore a wedding dress. We all posed for photos with them, but I never saw their faces. But they seemed to know me and treated me like a close friend. I, for some reason, had a bunch of my stuff at Aaron's house. I made several trips to take a lot of it to my car, but I left quite a bit behind. I don't remember this dream, though. That's crazy.
It's in my garage.
One of these things was a music sheet stand. I don't even own one of those. Eventually, I find myself laying in this bed with this pregnant married couple.
Why is
Why
you
is
guys?
Gary in
You
the
did
hell?
stay with me for like
They-
a week.
They just had the babies. It was twins.
Babies?
A boy and a girl. What? I'm not saying this is you guys. I don't know who this is.
No, it's just weird because do you remember when we went to that one bridge or went to that forest and then I had that really fucked up dream about me pulling the twins out of my stomach that I cut open myself and there was like creatures hanging from the thing and there was
See,
two
that's
of
what I
them.
mean.
Yeah.
Dream premonitions.
See, guys.
I even described the babies in here.
Well,
The guy handed me the boy and I held him. He was very small with spiky red hair and facial features of a monkey. I fell asleep holding the baby. I woke up to my cat in the bed with us and there's kittens all around. The cat had been
That's only
pregnant
happened 12 times.
and given birth overnight. There were 4 kittens, a gray one, a black one, a striped one. I didn't see the other 2. I couldn't find the baby boy and freaked out thinking I fell asleep on it. I woke up the dad and he grabbed the baby calmly. The baby was fine. I don't even know where the fuck he got the baby from. I got up to find there was a second litter of kittens running around, completely different cat. There was also a third family of cats that just sat. There's cats everywhere in the stream.
his cat has had
And they were
like
all just
16
staring
million
at me.
litters of cats.
Uh-huh. The cats reminded me of the Addams family, the way they were sitting and staring at me. That's what I called them, the Addams family. At some point, I solve a puzzle to open up an old steel door into a deep underground area that has treasure or something below.
Oh, it's got
And I woke up before finding what was under there. The next day, I wrote in an update. My cat had kittens. They all matched the exact thing I described them as in here.
That's kind of wild.
That's cool.
Remember when we were picking Gary up for something, and he's like, "You fucked up. I gotta write this down," and he like wrote the whole time we were like on our way to somewhere. He had to like write it
Yeah,
out.
that's when he was like super pissy. We were going on like
I think we were gonna get the shit out.
I think we were going to Hazarat.
Was
We were going to Hazarat, and he was like super pissy the whole time. Oh, was that? No,
No.
that wasn't Hazarat. That wasn't Hazarat. Maybe it was like
The only time you guys ever said I was pissy the whole time was when we went to the Night of the Living Dead location.
Oh yeah, you were
Evansville.
pissy. the whole
I wasn't
time.
pissy.
You
I was
were.
tired. I hadn't slept in like 40 hours.
But you were busy.
And I kept trying to go to
I know,
sleep.
because when you did fall asleep, me and Aaron were like fucking with you hardcore. We would
We had like a
videotape
slow
it.
mo, and we're like,
Wake up!
Why are you snoring, Gary?
Yeah, and you guys just kept fucking with me.
Yeah,
And then
we
you guys
did.
were like, he's in a bad mood. And that was making me in a bad mood because
Why
you
in a
kept
bad
saying
mood?
I was in a
"Why
bad
in a
mood.
bad mood?" Are you in
And
a
then I
bad
find
mood?
out you guys are both on your periods. So I'm like, oh, you guys are the reason that I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah,
Because
fucking-
you're the ones in a bad mood.
Fucking feel it. Fucking feel it, bitch.
That wasn't that the time you like, accidentally flinged a tampon at somebody in the bathroom? Yeah, one of you did.
No comment.
One of you tried to pull it out or something and it flew at somebody you didn't
It is
know.
called a tamp stamp. And me and Aaron coined it about 10 years
You
ago.
heard it here first.
We were walking to a bar from her apartment over on Jackman, and this bitch about ran us over in the car, and I was wearing a skirt, and I turned
Alright, we
around
can-
and I said, what if I just whip it out and stamp it on her hood? And Aaron goes, tamp stamp. Therefore, it's called a tamp stamp.
Did you?
Like, how pissed
I
would
did
you
not.
be if you were driving
But her car was yellow, so it would
and
have been
somebody
perfect.
hit your windshield with a tampon?
Like, how mad would you be? Like, you're just minding your own business. Someone went, what? And you're just like, boom, blood. And it was just all over the place.
It'd be my first ever road rage.
But back to the premonition dreams.
Yes.
I do not necessarily have premonition dreams, per se. I have more... Mine are more in, like, a puzzle that I never usually figure out. And they always make sense, like, afterwards. Like, I'll have really fucked up dreams about, like, creatures and, like, monsters and, like, people from my past and, like, just fucked up things. And I can never really piece it together, so I wouldn't really call it premonition dreams. Just maybe, like, puzzles. You know? Like, just nothing
That's
nothing makes sense. But I'm pretty sure from that little bit that Gary read from his dream thing, if we were to actually sit down and collab my dreams with his dreams and Aaron's dreams, we'd probably come up with some pretty good shit as to what.
Yeah, because I mean, you just figured that little piece out in just that excerpt.
Yeah, like, and Aaron knows. I'm not gonna say it on the air, but the fact that Gary said that hairier than usual man, which is hilarious because Jeff is fucking hairy as shit. Around
Guilty.
Christmas time, like a couple, maybe like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something bad happened to me, and I talked to you about it. So like maybe, like could be something like that. Just it took a little longer to, but yeah. So premonition dreams don't really happen to me. It's more along the lines of just puzzles. But maybe one time we'll make like a show or something where we go over all of our dreams and put them together.
I'm gonna buy a book tomorrow or something.
Maybe
that
we'll
would
find
actually be
some.
really interesting, I think, to have you guys just collab on that and come up with some stuff.
Well, how about this, Aaron? You
I
buy.
won't be involved in that, but
Let's turn this into a dream book. But I'm like, yeah, that took too much time to make.
It's a really beautiful book, though.
It really is. So maybe Gary, if you do make me one of those books, I'll use that as my dream journal.
All right, yeah. Just
Aaron,
just order the roll of leather. I'll do everything else.
Okay, and if you do one too, like then me and Aaron will start writing down ours, and since Gary has his, then we can get together and go over that. And Jeff's the boring one. Sorry, guys, he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have premonition.
He did have one
It's
premonition.
good to have an outside perspective, though.
Wait. I don't anymore. When I was younger, I got them a lot. My mom gets them a lot.
Yeah, I'd like to have your mom on the show.
Hey,
Robin, you want to be a guest? Yes.
I haven't had them in years, but when I was younger, when I was a younger kid and up to about high school age, I did get them quite frequently. And the things I dreamed about were stupid, mundane things. It was never anything super serious, super over the top. But it always happened exactly 2 weeks later. Every single time. So the example I have is I had a dream one time that I was in. I when I was a kid, we lived in Fostoria, Ohio, in this house, and this house had this little fireplace room that we were in, and I was in it with my step siblings at the time, and me and the step sibling that was closest in age to me were like play fighting basically, and the exact way that the play fight went, including up to the kick that he did that knocked me on my ass. I dreamed it 2 weeks before it happened. And then as it was happening in the moment, I had that recollection that I had seen this before, and the motions just kind of went straight through, and sure as shit, I ended up on my ass in the end of it. That's the biggest example I have of it, because I had that dream 2 weeks before it happened. It was wild to really feel that, but now I don't know if I'm closed off. I don't know what it is about me. I don't get affected by shit. I don't have any kind of dreams or premonitions with that stuff.
You get deja vu?
Not anymore.
No?
I very rarely even dream. I almost never have dreams, and when I do have dreams, it's super infrequent and they're very short. I don't know what the deal is.
Deja vu, though.
Have it.
So that's the weird thing.
That can be kind of premonitional, but usually it's like a sign that you're on the right path in your life, or you need to really pay attention, depending on the level of deja vu.
So it's weird. You were saying that you're like completely blocked off. My mom had that issue as well. She was going through a lot of grief. And
Yeah, she's actually told me about that.
How did she get rid of it? Because Jeff wants to open up more.
It comes and goes. She's still never fully open like she was. Like when my grandma died, that channel died with her.
So
they
your
had this
grandma probably
connection.
Yeah.
But what's weird though is even though she still will have dreams from time to time, but it's weird because without telling me, she will ask my grandma or ask for an answer, ask a question, and it comes to me. And I'll just randomly like, hey mom, I had a dream of grandma last night, and she told me this weird thing, and she's like, that's so weird because I asked her last night.
So the chain broke at your mom and jumped to you.
It's like because I'm open to it, and maybe she blocked it out because of whatever depression or grief she's going through. She still will have dreams from time to time. Like I said, she has the LA one.
Never break the chain.
Or wasn't LA, but California. And she'll still have some dreams. But I've never had that connection with my mom, like me and my mom having the same dreams and stuff like her and my grandma did. But my mom's definitely, she's blocked. And I don't know if it's just she's not sleeping enough.
Part of me thinks the reason that Jeff is closed off because he has had like premonition dreams like when he was younger. The reason I think is because if you've ever sat down and had a conversation with this man, it is completely insufferable. Like, you will never,
Thanks.
you will
Thanks.
never be right. He is so logic-headed that you can't fight with him because he will break it down to the point where it's so logical that you just can't fight it anymore. You just give up.
Oh, I have a friend like that.
Yeah. So I think
I'm like, UFOs, shut it down. Bigfoot, shut it down. Ghosts,
he's
shut it
open.
down.
He's open to stuff like that. But like, I think the reason that you've lost the connection is because your logic head took over your open-mindedness. Like, it shut off a part of it because it couldn't handle both. Because you couldn't take being logical.
It's almost like you have to open that sixth sense. You have to open that channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open my chakras back up.
Yeah.
It's
So we need
kinda-
to figure out a way to do that for you.
That's scary. I'm getting to that point. I'm like super skeptical anymore.
Reiki the fuck out of him, Gary.
I'm gonna rake you.
Don't rake me. Don't
I'm
rake
gonna
me.
rake you.
I'm gonna rake you, boy.
I mean, I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but my skeptical reasoning is why I had my little freak out with the Ouija board, because somebody was like, yeah, you shouldn't have that because it's somebody else's. And I was like, I'm going to challenge it then. I don't fucking care. I don't believe in it. And then I was like, oh.
But you say, okay.
Hey, Gary, how'd that go for you?
I didn't.
Okay.
Well, I'm still here.
Since you brought it up, just a little like 2-minute snippet as to, you know, that saying that you don't believe in the BS that is behind a Ouija board, it basically says that you don't believe in me having attachments and stuff, because that's where my first one came from.
So if you use anything to communicate with spirits, you can open a portal with anything.
So you don't completely
I don't believe
think that
it-
Ouija
yeah.
boards are bullshit.
I don't completely think they're bullshit. I don't think it's just a Ouija board thing.
It's
Because
what's attached
as
to it.
I was saying to somebody who got in this argument with me, I was like, back in the day, like, religions were specifically against talking to the dead at all. Like, it was absolutely taboo to try to communicate with somebody that was dead because you're opening up a door.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So using any form of communication, even just using us talking with to get EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
we're
Hades
communicating.
was so hard to get to.
What?
Oh god, here comes
Hades
the logic.
was literally the underworld for the Greek.
I know what Hades
civilization.
is.
That's why it was so hard to get to. That's why you had to travel the river Styx. That's why you had to go jump through all these hoops to get there. They didn't want you communicating with the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem like doing paranormal, but I will never touch a Ouija board again. I will never touch it.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm about to, instead of challenging it, I'm just
I
going to
just-
bust out the Ouija board on the show. But I was like, but then Aaron will leave.
I will. I won't. I've had so
Yeah,
many bad
it's wrong.
experiences with it. When I was younger, we had just moved into my house with my mom, and we were just messing with it. And we found bones in this girl Sarah's house. She didn't know whose bones they were. I'm like, okay. So she's like, we'll take the Ouija board back with you. So I did. I was messing with it up in my bedroom. My dad stopped breathing that night. My mom had to give him CPR. Randomly. He just stopped breathing. I'm like, okay, never touch it again until I met this girl.
Then when me and Aaron did a Ouija board, I got an attachment. A candle exploded in our former friend's house. She lost her job the next day. My beloved lizard died of no reason. Just found him dead and dehydrated in his cage the next morning. And
then what happened to her within like 6 months of that happening?
Yeah, and 6 months of that, she started working at a stop and go and ended up getting robbed and shot, and ended up shooting the robber, and he bled out on the retreat.
So yeah, she
So
lost her job the next day after breaking the
Shit.
Ouija board,
About 6 months
and
later.
got shot and killed somebody.
Yeah, so
Nope, won't be touching those again.
yeah, that's probably for
Yeah,
good
I mean-
cause.
Here's your sign.
We've only used that one time, and that was at Sam's house. So it's the
Yeah.
only time I've used that
We're like,
board.
hey, we're gonna do Ouija board. No,
Yeah, and that's where the little girl
No.
came from.
That's
Yeah.
why I will never suggest using a Ouija board to Erin, because I respect her. I respect how she feels about it, and like I'm always trying to poke things to see if I can get something to happen. Like, that's just who I am. Like, I just want to poke
like
things.
maybe
And
Aaron changed your mind.
I want
No.
to I want to find weird things, and sometimes I do. I'll be like, "Hey, Erin, you want to use a Ouija board?" She says no. I say, "Okay."
Yeah,
Moving on.
I just like having them. I like the decoration of a Ouija
Like
board.
I have a Ouija board blanket. That's totally fine.
Until you're sleeping and you start rubbing your stomach and you summon a demon.
She summoned a demon in her nap.
She's in there just. Yes,
Actually,
yes
now
is
that
right
I
here.
think about it, Sam bought it for me. Like,
Yeah.
she's trying to sneak that shit in there.
Almost sneak
So,
it back.
with the one more thing with the dream premonitions, like this is a
It's
very
my
recent
shorts.
one. It kind of fucked me up.
And then we gotta get on to Mifflin, and then we gotta wrap the show up because it's
Yep,
getting too long.
we're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost at an hour.
One of the dreams I had recently, like I didn't remember it all day. Like it was horrible. It was super traumatizing. And for some reason after I woke up, I had completely forgot about it and I was having a down, depressed day. So I was just watching TV, sitting on the couch. And then all of a sudden that night, for no reason, the image just flashed back in my head and I immediately just zoned out, like completely zoned out, just trying to remember the entire thing. Because it creeped me the fuck out. Now, it took 2 days after this moment for something else to be brought to my attention that might be connected. And so, in the topic of dream premonitions, technically, whatever this is hasn't happened yet. So if it does, I've told it on the show. I hope it doesn't. But the dream was I had to go and relive my dad's dad, my grandpa, my Polish grandfather's funeral. So I was back as a kid at my grandfather's funeral, looking at him in the casket, but there was a big difference. Oh, give me the little hand. There's a big difference. He was all burnt. Apparently, he had died in a fire in the dream, but in real life, my grandfather died of a heart attack.
I'm so sorry.
See, this is why we drink. We don't know where the show's gonna go. Oh, hey, Jeff.
It's just a little hand.
He's just a little hand.
Okay, I'm done.
It's a strong hand.
It's my strong
I need a
hand.
drink.
I'm putting my foot down.
I'm putting my foot down this. I'm putting my foot down this group.
Okay, go on. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Jay the Christ.
I'm sorry.
So, I had to relive my grandfather's funeral.
I'm sorry.
How inconsiderate.
I know, bitch.
It was horrible. I still remember all the stuff from the dream now. Like, I didn't remember it all day. I don't know how it all just came back suddenly. Now, this grandfather is one that I used to be able to communicate with after he died, but I can't anymore because during a documentary some years ago, I got a message from him through a medium that was there live, and it was filmed. And I broke down bawling. And my mom was there as well. And she broke down bawling because the message from him was something he yelled at my dad when I was like 3. So I had no memory of it. And the moment she said the phrase, it all unlocked in my head instantly. And I remembered the whole argument that my grandpa had with my dad. I don't remember any visuals of it, but I remember all the audio now. And the instant it came out of her mouth, me and my mom broke down because my mom remembered the argument like it was yesterday. So because I was crying so hard, he became one of my guides and no longer can communicate with me like that because he's keeping an eye on me here. So he's not technically a spirit anymore. He's one of my guides. So I think that's how he's able to still communicate with me now is through dreams. So I don't see him much. I think this is like the first time since that happened. So it's been over 10 years. Usually it's my mom's dad that I get. If he shows up in one of my dreams and I can't remember what he said, then it's a dream that's going to come true, that he's warning me of or showing me. And I've had like 3 of those recently where he's there in this dream that he has no reason to be in and all this other stuff's going on, but he's just standing there watching. And if he talks to me, I can hear what he says in the dream, but when I wake up, it's just silence. I can remember his face, his mouth moving and everything. But if it's silence, then he was really there. I can't remember what he said if he was really there. So I have this dream, and this is my Polish grandfather, not the one that I can't hear in dreams. He was all burnt. He was in this casket, and they said he had died in a fire. And it was literally moment for moment, the actual funeral. Like I lived the whole thing again, like even stuff I forgot about. But he was burnt. So that's the part that didn't make any sense. Now I can translate my dreams instantly when I wake up. I've gotten really good at it. And usually when you see a dead loved one in a dream, that's a symbol of a deteriorating relationship. So there's some relationship you're in that is now deteriorating or it's going bad. So I just translated it as that because I was technically going through that at the time. So I thought that was it. So I just chalked it up to that until I went to my mom's. And she's like, yeah, I've had these dreams the past 2 nights where Grandpa's house caught on fire and burned down. And I was like, what? I was like, I just had a dream that, Jaja, I went to his funeral and he died in a fire. So that being one of my grandparents in the dream is now like, well, maybe their house is going to burn down. Because I've been saying it for years that it is a fire hazard. And if a fire broke out there, that house would go up instantly because they have too much stuff in the house. Mm-hmm. So my mom has 2 dreams that the house caught on fire. And I have a dream that my grandpa died in a fire. So it hasn't happened yet. And if it does, it is now forever on this show. So I hope it doesn't happen. That house is going to be gone anyway. Ironically, the house next door burned down a couple months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe that's next.
Hope not.
And it's a mystery to how that house burned down because that guy died.
Who's living in the house right now?
My aunt, her boyfriend, my ex-wife, and that's it. And that's why it's all piled up because she has so much stuff in there. But that is Dream Premonitions. That is the most recent one I can think of, and it hasn't even come true yet. So if it does come true, you heard it here first. Is that our new fucking saying?
I know we've said it a lot on this show, that's for sure. You heard it here first.
I feel like MTV News. You hear it first.
Now we're going to go on to Mifflin, right?
Yep, we're going to talk a little bit about that.
The question.
The question. I'm sorry, Deja.
Sorry.
Have any of you ever took a VPN into a graveyard and had a conversation with spirits? And she means like ghost box.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have.
Oh, yeah. We have.
Often.
Yeah.
Quite often. Almost every time.
I've been doing it for years. Like,
Gary and I actually went to one not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually went and visited the graves of a family whose home I investigated. They were already all dead when I investigated the home, so it was the people that lived there at the time. And I had just discovered their graves. What's up? I thought you saw something.
No, he's just zoning out.
I thought it was like, is something getting thrown again?
And we did catch that one at Woodlawn. Remember, we were like leaving and it told you to come back?
Yeah.
I was just talking about that
the
last night.
spooky toot, the transferring spooky toot. Yeah, but no, the spirit, the EVP that actually came
Speaking of the toot, I have that audio clipped on my phone. And yesterday, ironically, I was driving and it came on. And
like shuffle through your music?
Yeah, it shuffled through my music. And it just gets to that part and it goes, what you gonna do about late night butt talk? And it just goes into the next song like, I was like, that is an intro for a song.
Awesome.
It needs to be used. I'm glad that's on my shuffle because it's going to make every song that comes next even better.
That's awesome.
Can you like put that in our like intro for the next show?
Yes.
Yes, please do that.
Just clipped in there.
Please do that.
Right when it ends and you hear the scream, you just hear Aaron, what you gonna do about late night butt talk?
Yeah, so...
But yep, we've done a lot of graveyard sessions. That's kind of where we started out.
Just sneaking into graveyards.
Depending on when we wrap up here, we might just be taking a little trip tonight. Maybe. Maybe.
Actually, stick around after the show, guys, because we're going to have a watch party on our page. The very first episode of our YouTube show is on YouTube. You guys can't watch it yet because I haven't made it public, because we're going to do it live with everybody. We're going to have a little watch party, watch that episode. But for now, Mifflin. We are going to Mifflin, as we've been talking about for a while, and it is approaching very fast.
Mm-hmm.
We have 19 days to go until we are on the road to Mifflin.
And we kind of talked about like the things that we're going to do when we actually head there. It's going to be a pretty hectic week, especially for me, because I have a wedding to go to, and then directly from Gatlinburg heading to Pennsylvania and meeting these guys. And then from there, we are going to investigate Mifflin. After Mifflin, we're gonna go sleep for a few hours, then we're gonna get up and we're going to investigate and go and explore Philadelphia. So if any of you know of any places in Philadelphia for us to go check out, anything like that, I know Gary's probably got a book. He's looking, so he's probably got a book. So if you guys know of any places that we can go and check out, like
any lesser known places that you guys have come up with, or any of you guys that are from Philly that have some spots that you're like, oh yeah, you got to go check this out, let us know, because we're going to be there a full day. About a day and a half we'll be in Philly that we'll be able to investigate some stuff in between Mifflin.
Then from there we're going to Gettysburg. Yep.
This is the little book of Gettysburg Ghosts.
We're going to have that with us. We're going to check out a little bit of
the cool
stuff in there.
Cool thing about these books is this lady in all of her books, she puts exact coordinates on how to get to each one of these places.
Which is fantastic.
It's amazing. There's no guessing. You can just pop those coordinates in a GPS and you're on your way. So we have a book for Gettysburg and a book for Pennsylvania. So we will be going to some extra places, and we have the guides to get there.
So if you guys know of any places that wouldn't be like little unknown places, tell us about it. Let us know.
And I'm going to see the Rocky statue. I don't care. I have to go see it. The last time I was there, the guys didn't want to go see it, and it was the most depressing trip because I couldn't go see the Rocky statue.
We'll go see the Rocky
I'm
statue
going to see
just
it,
for you.
and I'm running up the fucking steps.
I'm gonna make a TikTok of you running up the steps with that.
I might make it like 3 steps and then be like,
and I'll be like, no, push it.
He gets to the 5th one.
We'll do a montage. To make
I got my MMA gloves.
There you go. Yeah, so
can't wait.
We'll have a lot of evidence to go through when we get back with all the places we're going.
Don't worry, that show's not going to be 3 hours long. We're going to really try just to pick out the best stuff we find, as long as we find stuff, because there's no guarantee we'll find anything.
Yeah.
True story.
But I have high hopes for Gettysburg, at the very least Gettysburg.
I'm pretty sure you guys will find some Mifflin stuff. We're not going to talk too in depth right now about Mifflin because we're going to do another show in a couple weeks just before we go to Mifflin. So about the week before, we're going to do another show. And I will bring out all my stuff from when I went there. I will play some EVPs from when I went there. I have a video from there which matches a photo that is on their actual website. I did not ever see that photo until we started planning this trip.
Josh,
and it creeped
we're
me
not
out.
licking anything in Philadelphia.
That is very unsanitary.
Go lick the Liberty Bell.
Do you want us to fucking get COVID-19?
Yeah.
That's how you get COVID-19.
Philadelphia is a city of brotherly love. I won't be licking anything.
Yeah. No, they probably rubbed some nutsacks.
That's how you get freedom COVID. It's like a whole new strand.
Yeah, no.
You become overly American and then die.
Yeah.
As much history as there is in Philly, we're more looking for hitting up some
cheesesteak.
Noticeable, yes, that too. Definitely will happen while we're there.
I know the best cheesesteak spot there, so we're going.
Also, we're looking for the paranormal hotspots. That's what we're looking for.
And nothing under a bridge, because that's where they all sleep. You know what I'm talking about. And I seen it when I was there. There's a lot of them. They don't wear masks.
Neither do half the people that shop here.
I had to fight one off. He was trying to steal my cheesesteak. He was like hugging my leg and trying to pull me, and I was just booting him with my other.
I don't blame him.
Let me get that cheesesteak, though.
I'm like, yo, what up? First time to Philly? Let me get that cheesesteak, though.
If we had an extra day, we'd probably make the trip to NYC just because it's only like an hour and a half away.
Yeah. That was another thing I thought when I was there. I was like, oh, shit.
Ferry, go look at that.
But it's probably not a good time to go to New York City right now.
No. It's not even a good time to go to Philly.
True story.
We're going to go there to search for ghosts, come back with a little bit of the...
Me and Sam are going to take our own trip there.
Yeah,
we got some things to check out.
All of our driving plans are split. Like, they're coming from the wedding. Aaron's going to be in New York, driving from New York, and I'm going to be driving from Toledo. So it's going to be my first long trip by myself. So it's going to take me twice as long to get there because I'm going to keep pulling over because I suffer from road insomnia. So after about 2 hours, I will start falling asleep if everything looks the same. I need interesting things to be popping up while I'm driving.
So if you guys are like by a highway that leads from here to there. If you could put some like fancy dicks on the side of the road or something, put some like spooky dukes and some like statues on the side, just to make it interesting, so he doesn't fall asleep, so he can make it actually to Philadelphia.
He will
I'm
be
just
taking
driving,
the
and I'm
just
just
most
like,
of the way.
Is that a dick?
Is that a dick? And then
Is that poop?
Look, Division 3AM flag.
That's Division 3AM. There's a whole bunch of poop there. Like a bunch of people got together and just made one big pile of shit.
All right, so that's what we got going, guys.
Yep, go Mifflin, going to Gettysburg, and then we're going to Centralia.
Oh,
It is not considered a haunted location, but god damn it, it's amazing. I'm going. I don't care.
Yeah, then we can mark it off our bucket list.
It might be haunted though.
I grew up with that.
A lot of people
fucking
did
video
die
game,
there, so it is
like,
very possible.
I'm not even gonna say what video game I'm talking about. So if you guys know, then we can hang out. But if not, you can't be my friend. Shut the fuck up.
And Sam and I'm sure we'll have some stuff from Wheatland Plantation, because if we're gonna return that object, we're gonna do an investigation while we're there.
Like and back to Wheatland, like the coolest thing about Wheatlands, there's actually two pretty awesome spots about Wheatlands. One is the slave graveyard that is just desolate and off to the side by itself, and all it is just stones sticking up out of the ground. It's pretty freaking awesome. It's just in the middle of a giant field.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it,
dicks.
you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is the basement. The side door to the basement is usually open, and there is a giant geode. Like, this thing is huge, just sticking up out of the basement floor. Like, it's mounded, sticking up out of it. So it's like the center point of this whole entire basement.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me feels like, why didn't they cover that up, you know? Like, why wouldn't they put more flooring down to cover that up? But no, it's just a giant geode in the middle of the basement. And that's what we put the EVP recorder that we had. We put it down on top of it. We caught some
That's an energy booster.
Yeah, we caught some weird stuff.
We caught mostly children, like, laughing and playing. For some reason, there was, like, flies we could hear, we could chalk that up to just being in a basement.
Yeah.
Cats meowing.
We could chalk it up to flies and cats, except for the fact that we didn't find a single one in the basement when we went back in it.
No, we didn't. The whole thing behind that was, it was a slave plantation, and one of the slave children had come inside to play with the slave owner's children's, and and she one of the kids actually ended up falling and breaking his head open and died on the floor. So that's one of the hauntings that is supposedly there.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear kids in the basement is just kind of the whole place is just tragic. Like, if you just
Sounds like a new comedy skit show, Kids in the Basement.
This place has a ridiculous amount of weird history. Like, right around the corner from the slave graveyard, there's supposedly, although we had trouble finding it because there's not really any kind of mound that we saw, but supposedly there's a Native American burial mound, like mass grave of Native Americans right around the corner from the slave graveyard. There was a slight mound there, but we couldn't verify if that was it or not. Mm-hmm. But like, so you have that, you have the slave graveyard, then there's a Civil War memorial for a general on the property.
Mm-hmm. It's just weird. You just have centuries of different things going on
just
there.
Like the way it's set up. Like, there's a stable that you can walk through. Like, it's completely tore open. Like, you can walk through. You can see all, like, the stables where they kept the horses and stuff. And then there's, like, the main building where you have, like, the main people that live. And then, like, off in the back, there's slave quarters. And you could totally tell there's, like, a kitchen in there, like bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. It was
like
that was where the caretaker was staying for a while.
That's where they, like, lived. And
well, when I did my mom's investigation, which I didn't get everything together, but we'll do maybe a little insert for the next. But the area that I did catch a small EVP, which if my phone didn't die, I would have shared with you guys. But it was in the servants' quarters. They had servants back in that day. It was during the Civil War, and it was a child. And it said something like ouch or hot or something like that. And if my mom's history is right, there was a little child that did get burned and hurt on the property. So when I get a chance to go through the rest of this stuff, I'll let you guys know. Hopefully next show. Maybe just like a quick little thing. Life's been busy, so I didn't get a chance to go through everything. Sorry.
Yeah, it's been pretty hectic. What do you got, something, Sam?
I think my phone has 7%, so I might be able to pull it.
My phone
Why
has
is
7%.
why is my phone the only one that's not dead?
Then why are you not pulling this up? Because that EVP is actually in our Division 3.
What I caught.
God. Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
I have 19.
Oh, yeah, that was the day I was at the protest that I heard that. I kept trying to listen to it at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Some more stuff in there. But when I get everything together, I'd like to get it all together for you guys. But if you guys want to hear this little bit,
it was before we went on our trip, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on the Division 3
website. If you guys didn't watch the last show, I went to visit my family.
It was earlier this month.
I went to visit my family in New York. My mom lives in a very old Victorian house, 1791. And we just did a quick little ghost hunt, I guess you would say. And within the first 2 minutes, I caught a child's voice. And at this time, my son was fast asleep on the other side of the house. And the house is huge. It's got like 35 rooms. And that's not even an exaggeration. So there's no way this was my son's voice. And it was just me and my mom upstairs. She actually didn't hear this. I didn't hear this. The only time we caught it was when we were reviewing the evidence. And I was like, wow. So if we're able to pull that up, I'd like to share that with you guys. It's just like a little video.
Try.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Then we're going to wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go do our watch party.
It's not on the website.
The website?
It
was in the group chat.
Was it under the Boo Crew chat?
It was probably under the Boo Crew
Oh.
chat. The one I'm not part of.
Yeah, we're not going to find that then.
No, let me see. I'll know what it
We're
looks
not going to find that then. There's a lot in that group chat.
There's only 8 million things in that group chat. It's no big deal.
It's like the other group chat I'm in. Like, they're 24/7. Like, if I don't read what they're doing, I go back in there and I'm like behind by like a few hundred messages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not going back and reading all this.
And I think it's bad when I look at Division 3 AM and I'm like 15 messages behind.
Yeah. Like, I can even guarantee right now it just has 99 plus because I haven't checked it all day.
Mm-hmm. Is it going to be underneath the pictures or?
No. It's a sound file, so like you can only get it by scrolling back
it would
through.
be under pictures though. It's not. Maybe it's under.
All right. Anyway, we'll find that. We'll put it on the website.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to end that here. We did switch. We do have another beer. We didn't bring that up, but this is Oops All Berries.
I'm surprised they
I had to get a little summery beer to go with the
this
show.
Bitch wanted to start it out with a stout. Fucking stout.
Yeah.
Suck my fucking
I don't
stout.
complain about any beers anybody else brings, but Gary buys a beer and it's like, you fucker.
It's a stout and it's not.
I don't care. It's short and stout. And it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was very chocolatey. It was very good. It was very delicious.
So
I give you a hand.
check it out.
Mary.
We got Silent Noir. It was great. Actually, that's weird. Is that really like that?
What?
No. Like when I hold it up to the camera, like her hair is more colored.
Hmm.
And she actually looks like somebody that I know. We won't say.
Somebody come get her.
But
She
we drank
looks
Siren
like
Noir.
someone
What did
I
you guys think of that?
know. About what?
The Siren Noir.
Would they be good in the wintertime?
It was a stout.
Mm-hmm.
It was very chocolatey. I liked it. I liked
Yeah.
it. I liked the name. I liked the artwork.
It would be better
I've
cold.
never heard
Yeah,
of
that too.
Well, no, I've heard of Heavy Seas.
Yeah.
You
You know a beer is gonna be really fucking rough when it comes
and
to
it's a bourbon
four-pack.
barrel, so right there, you know. It's
What
like,
even was the percentage?
I didn't even look.
I don't even
I just
fucking
drank it.
know.
I didn't either.
So not bad, but I would not be drinking this again in the summer.
Yeah, it's more of winter kind of.
That's why I brought my Port Rocker. The summer beer.
What is the percentage?
I don't know.
It doesn't even tell you because it's like.
It's like against the
It's like
law
you
not to
don't
put it on here.
Let me go to the box.
Go get the box. Anyway, we thought at 9.5%. There we go.
9.5.
9.5%.
Damn, that's a tough.
And then we have been drinking and are still drinking the
all berries.
I'm not.
Oops All Berries. Jeff's is all gone. And this one is actually pretty good too.
And if you were looking for a sour, if you like sour beers, this guy right here, switch it back, Gary, switch it back. Let's just turn to a beer talk. This one, it's pretty freaking good. It's pretty fruity. It's pretty sour.
Fruit fight.
Yep, it's pretty good. Yum,
Yeah,
yum.
flamingos on the can.
So we had 3 beers to talk about, I guess. But Oops All Berry is pretty good.
Turned into
That
a
one is
free-for-all for beer.
a 6%, and that is a sour. And the Sour Noir was pretty good as well. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you in a couple weeks just before we head off to Mifflin. So, it's 3 a.m. somewhere.